Action.
Okay, so how many of you have actually tried to solve a problem but actually see the problem shift? Something like the HM is not giving you permission to take extra classes and no fellow students. We can show of hands if you felt something like this. Okay, so it's most of us in the room. So the thing is, you're not alone, friends. This is also how my year has been. So you can see city conference. So we are changing to the venue city conference and DOD says cancel city conference. Okay, when we were thinking we increase instructional hours and we were asking fellows to go to community and teach, the government said no, wait, it's Uno reverse, we are going to do a G20. Or when I as a PM thought that, okay, my fellows are actually doing all the deliverables, track leads tell me that, where are your fellows, they're not in the training space. So this is what happened. And while all of these things were happening, what it made me think was, are we actually doing things, or am I doing things that are just to build, or am I actually thinking about things that we do to thrive, because it's a movement. And with that, I welcome you to the power of behavioral nudges, because all of us know delusion is not the solution. With that, I'm actually going to be talking about a few simple things that I did through the year. So the first one, let's just understand what are behavioral nudges, right? We've all been in a place where we tell our fellows who need to come for trainings, but then we know what happens eventually, right? Like, nobody wants to listen to us. So how do we change the communication? For example, at this store, if this guy was like, you know what, everybody has to eat healthy food, I'm just going to keep healthy food, people are not actually going to come to the store in the first place. So what he does is he keeps all these nice and fancy fruits and vegetables, and that's just a way of getting people to think about, okay, I need to be more healthy, right? So this is how you use behavioral nudges to your advantage, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how did I do this for my people and for myself through the year. So first we'll start with what did I do with my people, right? So we know that we were sending long emails and that was just a part of how we were working. I was at least used to doing that a lot, and I saw that fellows were not reading most of it, right? So I thought, how do we change the messaging? Keep it really simple. It does not mean that I would send you a long message and you will send in a word. That is not the connotation here. But how do we really keep the messaging and make it fun? The second thing was just gamifying everything. Like what we did today in the morning. That is a simple example of what is gamification. I use very similar strategies with my fellows in our LC groups. So every time we had our LC, it was not just about, okay, we're going to come together and learn, but actually we had games that were pushing us to learn and grow. And that was one strategy I learned from Anushka, which I also was able to take back to my people. And positive affirmations, I think, have worked. With this, I want to actually share an anecdote, and that is about the power of yet. So a lot of times we end up asking our fellows, is the data done? Is the data done? Or I don't see this as complete. I actually try to shift the messaging to, it is not done yet, but I'm sure we are going to get there. And I think just like release that it's going to be done and we are not there yet. Or for a fellow who's not gotten placement, just talking about like, okay, I think you are yet to get an opportunity that is awaiting you versus like, okay, this hasn't worked. I think these were 3 simple nudges that I used with my people, which helped me across the different things that I was doing through the year. And it was not just for people, but I had to do it for myself as well. So then I was first identifying my own biases. I realized like I have a lot of cognitive biases as well. Like I feel like I need to know things, but it's not always required that I know it all. Because research says it takes more than 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert in anything. So just accepting my limits to say that I don't know it, but I can learn it. And with that, just being a deliberate amateur, I tried so many different things through the year, whether it was leading events, whether it was working on projects. And it was not like I had done any of this before, but I think I just leveraged the power of the people around me, and I always want to operate with this lens that I want to learn more and very consciously and deliberately practice learning more in my everyday work. With that, what has been the impact? The impact is the culture. I feel really good to say that with all the people I have worked with in my teams, I've been able to establish a strong culture and data backs that. Along with that, for my own self, I've been able to really establish healthy boundaries, which was not my strongest of points for the year. So with that, I'm going to leave everybody with this thing, that let's collectively build to thrive and not to last. Otherwise, project plans will not be there. We don't want to